So
Hi.
What's new?
Nothing. It's a good day of practice. I thought that was by far one of our better days in the last week. I think the guys came out, their bodies are feeling better, and they came out and worked. So I was pretty pleased.
Obviously about the quarterback situation.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden's going to start week 1, and we'll go from there.
What made him the guy?
He got better every single day. I mean, his completion percentage in the last week and a half of practice skyrocketed. You saw the comfort, and then, his ability to throw the ball down the field is definitely, a huge compliment to what we can do offensively. But in reality, he just kept getting better every day, and he earned it. I mean, that was a kid who almost got no reps in spring because he didn't know what he was doing. He started off as the 3 in fall camp because he was learning what to do, but he just kept growing and kept battling, and he deserved it.
How'd Trent take the news?
Great. Trent's a leader. Trent, you got everybody in this valley should be so impressed by not just Trent, but the Bourget family. His father, how he raised his 2 sons that are on our football team, how they have competitive nature, how they're smart, how they handle themselves in the community. Everything that family does as a whole, this valley should get behind and they should support, because Trent's a hell of a player. He's an even better person, right? And he's going to be successful in life.
How much can Jaden kind of learn from Trenton in terms of growing into that leadership role too?
Oh, a lot. I mean, Trenton's a vet, and he's a smart vet, right? And he's a leader. He was voted to our leadership council. That's not by accident, right? We had 3 quarterbacks voted on our leadership council, right? That shows that there's multiple guys that lead, but everybody leads in a different way. And Trenton's way is just talking to people and explaining things really well. So I think he has to continue to lead and continue to help people on our football team, because you know what? His time still may come.
What are the challenges of coaching your first game here and having a quarterback playing his first game?
Same as every game I've ever coached, to be honest. Not much different. I guess I've always managed the clock, so that's the same. Offensive coaches manage the clock, and that's always been kind of my role on game day. So, I guess watching the defense more, that's about it. But other than that, it's the same operation. And then me being on the field is probably the biggest change, is, being in that environment. And I'm a fiery person, right? I have to practice, staying calm, right? That's just the reality of it, right? I got to have a little bit of poise about myself because my nature is fiery and intensity and passion. And our kids are going to feed off me, and I have to be calm and poised in those moments.
You kind of touched on it, but how much did Jaden's ability to create those explosive plays kind of factor in the decision?
Thanks, Jordan. But it was huge. He's just an explosive player, and the key is to balance explosive plays with not taking negatives, and that's why in practice we practice throwing the ball away, because if the worst play is a throwaway and the best play is a 45-yard touchdown, it's going to be a good game.
So what can you say about Jaden's intangibles?
He's an unbelievable human. If you think about that kid and what he's been through in his last year of his life, what the media thought about him, how the media slandered his name, whatever everybody did to Jaden, and the fact that he shows up every day, he takes reps with the 3s, shows up with a smile on his face to get better, right? And then he's an unbelievable person. You're around him and you understand he's about other people. His success is through other people. He loves to see other people succeed, and I'm blessed he's on our team because he's just a great person. He's a great representation of what we're trying to be here, and that's really talented people, but we want to be good people. It's on our wall. Be a good person. It's really, really easy to be a good person, right? He embodies that.
And Coach, when you recruited him, you basically said, hey, come out here, have some fun. Are you seeing fun? Is that energy out here?
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing it, but when closer to game day, winning becomes fun. Let's just be honest, winning is fun. But you have to be able to keep that competitive balance in your own mind, that this is what's necessary, and I am obsessed with getting better. And if you become obsessed with getting better, then you're competitive versus yourself. And if you're competitive versus yourself, competition is fun, right? So you have to create that enjoyment with yourself, you versus you, of I'm gonna win today versus me. And I'm going to compete versus myself, and that's the challenge. I don't see opponents. I know we game plan versus all these opponents. I could care less. Y'all are going to ask me every week about an opponent, and I'm going to say the same thing, right? It really doesn't matter. It's about us, because it's true. We worry about us. Success is defined as being the very best you can be every single day. We're going out there trying to be successful every day.
Kenny, over here. How is Jaden as far as next play mentality? If he makes a mistake in practice, how does he bounce back?
He's getting better. To say he's perfect's a lie, right? Because he's a true freshman, right? But he's getting better every day. We talk about it, and you can see it. I can see it click in his mind right, where he's trying to flush it. And that's part of the growth process.
Where have you seen him grow the most since he stepped on campus?
Comfort in just his own skin. Not just even on the field, just the comfort in being Jaden Rashada. Like, okay, all the other stuff's out of the way. I can go be an 18-year-old who's playing football at his dad's alma mater, right? I'm a quarterback at Arizona State, right? A Power 5 school. Breathe, relax, and understand that you're one of the 1%, and go maximize your ability, because his ability is really high. I've seen comfort, and that's what you have to take to be successful, is you have to understand yourself and understand your own game, right? And that's what I've seen the most.
How much do you feel for a kid like Drew Pine, who was basically taken out of this race for week 1 due to an injury?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good question. I think that Drew Pine's coming here to compete, right? He's competing. He's going to come healthy, and we're going to see where it goes. So I don't feel at all for anybody, right? Just like any position on the field, right? We compete to win a job. Whoever wins the job, great. If you're in your feelings over somebody else beating you out in a job in any position, this isn't the place for you, because this place is going to breed competition from here until the rest of my career here. It's going to be about competition, and part of competition is responding to adverse situations, right? And then maybe your time will come and being ready, right? So I don't feel bad for anybody on our team that gets beat out, because their opportunity is coming. It's their job to respond to that opportunity, right? And go be ready when their moment comes.
Where do you see Jaden right now in terms of leadership? Obviously, quarterback is going to be looked at as key leader. He's a true freshman. How has he come along in those specific respects?
I think he leads through effort. What I mean by that is, it's going to be hard for him to lead through knowledge, right? Because he's a freshman. He's going to learn. It's going to be hard for him to lead through respect, because people just knew him. But what can show leadership? Work ethic, care level, showing up every day extra, being there early, taking notes in everything you do, because everybody watches it and they go, okay, this dude cares. I can follow him. This guy can lead me because it matters. That's where I see Jaden.
Coach, how did Jaden take the news, and what did you think of his performance today?
Yeah, smiled. I mean, he was fired up. Obviously, he's worked for this his entire life. I recruited him. I told him the odds of you starting this year are very, very low. It was point blank. You can ask him that. I said, you're probably not going to start here, so if you want to go somewhere and be guaranteed a starting job, don't come here, because the odds of it happening are low, but he's earned it. And today, you saw a little bit of, whoa, I'm the starter. That's just the reality, like, oh, hey, a lot of pressure now. That's why we did it so early, because we felt like that was the direction it was going. He needs to feel this for 10 days of it being his team, right? Of it being, for going into this week, he needs to feel that, even though it's a practice, there's still some pressure on it. So I felt, early in practice, there was a little bit of pressure, and then he calmed down. So it was good for him.
How much do you need to calm down that pressure from a coaching standpoint, or is it more just letting him develop that and learn that side of things on his own?
I mean, we can try to calm it down, but the reality is competitive people are going to respond in their own way, and they're going to learn through their experiences. So we can't simulate a game. We can try, but it's not going to be possible. And how he responds is hopefully going to improve throughout the situations on game day.